Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Free Enterprise channel. My name is Gambit017. I had the pleasure of interviewing the creator of our wonderful new Overlord Siren, Zoe Vermillion. How are you today, Zoe?
Gambit. Wrong. Look at the schedule. That's tomorrow night.
Oh, I've got the dates wrong. My apologies. I've time zones, and midnight matches. They mess with me.
No. We're Wednesday night for every coast that doesn't matter. It's Tuesday where it does matter, and it's supposed to be Wednesday when it does matter, or Thursday where it doesn't. So you're just off by 24 hours. It's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Okay, cool. So what are we doing tonight?
I think we've got a race here between Tybalt and Couch 23. Do you think Couch may be a little anxious right now?
Nah. There's an H in Foo's name. I don't think there's any anxiety there at all.
Okay, yeah, nothing. We're good. But yeah, welcome to this midnight match here, week 4 of the Lali-Ho League. Can't believe Swiss is already more than half over. We're in for a good race tonight. A couple of 2-1-1 racers. This race is really important because at this point, both these racers need 2 more wins to advance to brackets, and they can only afford 1 more loss. So we're not going to see anyone punch their ticket into brackets tonight or see anyone eliminated, but this is going to go a long way of how these 2 racers go through the rest of this tournament. And I do want to give a quick thank you behind the scenes to our wonderful restreamer Sky Kitty and our tracker Infinius, both great. And these are some really good objectives here. We've got .sing, .fluftella, .quokka, .hi, and .laliho. I don't know about that 4th one. That one might be a little hard to pull off, but you only have to do 4 or 5. So if they can do the others, I think we'll be good.
Oh yeah, it should be pretty easy. But yeah, we've got 2-2-1 runners. We've got Couch, who won their first 2 matches, took a loss last week, unfortunately. And Tybalt, the exact opposite, lost his first match and has won 2 straight. So Tybalt looking to keep his winning streak going. Couch looking to get back on the winning side. Looking forward to a very, very tight race between 2 very good runners tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Looks like Tybalt is pandering a bit to the community as well as the restream team here. Got some great names here. And as I mentioned, Couch, perfectly calm on the right-hand side. If I had to guess, I would say that Cheddar just stepped on the controller.
That sounds pretty plausible to me.
Yeah. Both these runners are just chilling in the naming screen, so we can't even talk about what are the actual objectives here. But hopefully we'll we'll get a glance at that real quick so that our team behind the scenes can get those updated for you all.
Our runners just keep us in suspense as our tracker starts putting in the standard 3 that we have, which is Magnus, Coco Forge, and Trade the Pinktail. It looks like we've got Defeat the Dark Imps and get Rosa as we get underway with the Kane start.
Yeah, you don't hate this Kane start in this flag set. Really, really good. You start with a Dwarf Axe, you start with a Strength Ring, so you can already get that Kane back road, give him a bit of a strength boost. Have a Rydia start here as well. That one's a bit dicier. And a Baron Key, so our runners can come into this Dark Elf as soon as they feel that they're ready. Probably going to see a little bit of looting here. Try and find something good for this Kane, a Blizzard Spear, an Ogre Axe, something along those lines. And then maybe if you can find a Sylph Orb for your Rydia, that'll be really good. Wouldn't be surprised if either of these runners goes and gets that free summon from Hobbs first thing, though.
Yeah, definitely want to get some levels before trying to dive that Baron Key. That Dark Elf fight, while not very hard, those magic attacks will probably do a little bit of work at a level 1 party. So definitely want to get a little bit of levels, a little bit of gear, and check that Hobbs summon, probably check that Hobbs character as well as the Baron character before heading on in. Couch heading straight back into Baron, probably going to show us who this character is. Ooh, a Dragon Gauntlet. That's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. This party, though, if you can get that Rydia to like level, I can't exactly level, it's very early on, she gets access to stop. If you can find something like a White Spear for this Kane, that'll make that Dark Elf easy work. I believe that was a Palom with Asura just sharing some tea.
That looks like correct to me. As well as it was an Asura Orb in the pot there in Baron N too. That's going to be nice for that Rydia early on. Get that hopefully 2/3 of a chance of a heal.
Yeah, and Couch going to these very rarely looted water chests. Only pulls a Soma Drop. That could potentially come in handy. Maybe our runners find like a Tella on Hobbs and they just kind of lack firepower. Having access to Meteo on very particular encounters can be very helpful. Tybalt going ahead and unlocking the sewers is going to go loot some of this stuff from the barren waterway. Grabs nothing of note from those 3 chests and goes, never mind.
Yeah, well, that first chest was something of very high note. That was a sorcerer robe he pulled.
Yeah, so we do start with a wizard robe, but that sorcerer robe is better defensively. It also gives +5 to both wisdom and will. So very good early on to get this ready. A little bit of magic power. Here in the Baron equipment shop, we do see rune axes for sale as well as heroine robes. Because we're under SL quarter, I don't foresee us buying either of those unless we just really need to push through something that's maybe a mage type. The Baron guards in a particularly nasty location. Overall, not too bad. This couch heads over here to loot Damsian, and Tybalt is going to peek this mist cave, looking for either the Dark Imps or a Vanilla Mist.
We also picked up a power staff. Rydia, since she is still technically a kid, can equip that. Could give you some early Zerks real quick if you need it for some of these early bosses.
Yeah, probably only for one boss or so, because Couch just found a Sylph Orb in the Damsian little treasury basement. So you can take down one boss fight to get Rydia up to 25 MP. Because we have Sylph Glitch on, she'll be able to cast that for free as long as she has 25 MP. Can be very good in the overworld, especially if you can give her anything that's going to boost her wisdom. Makes Antlion, Fabul, Baron Inn, and Ordeals all relatively safe as long as you can keep her alive.
Probably also means we will not see anyone go back and pick up that heroine robe, because Sylph Rydia makes a lot of things very easy, especially overworld.
Yep. Did find a Dragon Whip here in Antlion, which if we did want the heroine robe would be not too bad. And a Moon Veil. That could come into play later if we find a particularly punchy boss. And then I nearly said we found a DKC fighting Sid, but I have that backwards. We have a Sid fighting DKC.
I guess Sid got tired of DKC always stealing the airship at the beginning of the siege, so came up here to take some revenge out on them.
Yeah, just wants to knock some sense into his old friend, but not gonna be happening.
Ooh, Xaxes on that cane.
Oh no! You don't hate that too much. You're gonna walk away here with the Sid, but you would have liked having that experience on either the Rosa or the Cane, because we don't have the ability for Slingshot. Every little bit of waste experience you're never going to get back. Couch, however, looting Antlion fully, finding some pretty good stuff. Found a couple Blizzard Spears, I believe, or a Blizzard Spear and Ice Brand, and I believe there's one other weapon here that was worth note, but I've already forgotten. I think these snake arms are stealing my memory.
It was a Dancing Dagger, which would be nice for our Rydia.
That's what it was. Yes, that Dancing Dagger on the Rydia is really, really strong.
Finding Baigen down here. Baigen here is probably what you want to see. This is not going to be a hard spot. Tybalt showing us that the summon at the front side of Hobbs Rydia is just a bomb. Yeah, resets out. Don't blame him. Not worth.
Yeah, bomb doing damage based off of Rydia's HP. Rydia having one of the worst HP growths in the game. You're not going to get much use out of that.
Only time you get use out of that is if you go D-Machine and get that Rydia up to massive levels, and by then you don't really need Bomb anymore because she learns Nuke.
I mean, if we had a bunch of apples, you could get use off of that too, but now we're just talking about a completely different flag set.
Very, very true. But Couch getting Kane in the air, the arm explodes on our baby Rydia. Rydia goes down, but Kane lives, and we get the Darkness Crystal.
Oh, spicy. Early Darkness, probably the thing that I hate the most in this flag set, opening up the world quite a bit early on. It's going to be a character check. That can be a Fu or an Edge. It could be that Rosa that we desperately want. Also gives us access to a gated shop. And while you're on a boss hunt, maybe you go down Cave Bahamut. Take a look, see if there's a red robe on his throne. And maybe if you've found something like hourglasses and coffins there, go ahead and get that out of the way. see. I think we are back.
I think so too. All right, judging by Tybalt running back out of Antlion, I'm going to assume took down Baigan with no trouble. Probably has his Darkness Crystal, and we see Couch going to the moon.
Yep, Couch gonna go give us this character check. As we were saying before, technical difficulties, rear their ugly head. Checking that Cave Bahamut for a maybe something without the boss bit. If you find hourglasses and coffins, or even something like a King Queen Eblin, you know, it can really get you a nice bit of experience, maybe a potential key item, or it could be, you know, a minute of time waste, depending on how quickly you go down Cave Bahamut. It's a gamble.
With Tybalt following in Couch, that's Bacchus wine in the Hummingway shop. That's a nice find.
Yeah, with a Kane and a Sid. Bacchus wines early can really get us through some nasty stuff, especially if we end up needing to go down a hook route. Would have liked to see something like hourglasses here, or maybe even sirens, just so you could get them out of the way. But you never say no to a small stack of Bacchus wine.
So Tybalt raising the big whale, gets the whale. Couch goes in, about to tell us who is on the lunar dais tonight. It's a moon bard.
It's a boon bard. Okay. Well, I guess you can go look at the Cave Bahamut spot to see if the boss is anything doable. King Queen Eblin's still doable here if you really want to go peek. And if I am remembering correctly, the Cave Bahamut spot has just a little bit too much health to hide that eddy and get through an evil wall, which could be there. But Couch says, nah, there's very few things I can take right now. Even if though it's information, I'm going to go back to the earth and keep going with my checks. We still need to find a way underground.
Yeah, we've only done one check so far on the overworld. It just happened to miss a darkness crystal. So now Couch is going to go take a look and see who is up on Hobbs. Find that Sid facing off with DKC and probably get through it pretty dang quick.
I'm going to go ahead and, while setting up to save here, use this Asura Orb, use this Sylph Orb. Using the Soma drop there on that Rydia. Was that the Rydia?
That was Rydia. I'm really sad it did not give Kane MP.
I was about to say, man, it would have been such a flex just to use that on the Kane to get it out of your inventory and give Kane MP. Unfortunately, that Soma drop right now doesn't do a ton because it doesn't get you past that 25 MP threshold for Sylph. But every little 10 can count, especially if maybe once you do get a better summon, that 10 MP could give you an extra use of it. Who knows?
In the meantime, Tybalt does the same thing, grabs the moon bard, comes right back down to earth, does not check anything. Says, nope, there's nothing up here that I can really do right now. I'm going to come back down here and start doing some checks.
Yep. Couch equipping that dancing dagger on that Edward's going to allow him to do, 250 to 400 damage for each one of his turns. So he will be contributing a non-significant amount in these early portions of the seed. Tybalt is coming to the Baron armor shop. Is he going to try and buy a heroin robe here?
He's going to try to buy a heroin robe.
Yeah, he's not selling that dragon whip. He wants that heroin robe, but I don't think he has the money for it. How many of your rune rings do you have left? Have you sold all your rune rings yet?
Meantime, Couch does get through that DKC with Rydia alive. Rydia will pick up enough MP off this fight to start casting Sylph, and I got a feeling we're going to start seeing Sylph quite a bit here in the next few minutes.
Yep. Sylph is a great summon early on. And on top of the Sylph glitch, it also does a decent amount of damage, and it will do a bit of a heal to your party. It's got a spell delay of 0, so it goes off basically as quickly as a virus or a nuke would. It does have a fairly lengthy animation, which is its main downside, but fortunately, in the newest version of Free Enterprise, the lovely board face reduced the volume of the sound and also included Sylph in the flash effects removal. So for me, I like to make my streams accessible as possible. Removing that flash effect was fantastic, especially considering how often we're going to be seeing it cast.
In the meantime, both our runners converging back on Fabul, where leg day has come at last.
Also, I'm so used to calling Scala lovely when I'm giving her credit that I called board face lovely, and I'm not going to take it back.
I will let it ride because I think board is lovely as well, so we'll go with that. Meantime, Tybalt. Okay, that glare only doing 300 damage to that Sid. Okay, never mind. We're okay. And Couch getting the script kill. Gotta love seeing that.
Yeah, Couch had the weapons to take advantage of the ice weakness here. I think he came into this fight shortly after Tybalt is leaving first, just due to that. One thing that I've noticed, both as a racer and a commentator and a viewer of the Lali-Ho League, is sometimes your early game just looting can have massive implications for how well your seed is going to go. We'll very occasionally see runners that are a minute 30 behind because they're taking a few extra treasure chests, but they find something that really just helps them get through some fights, and then that just starts to snowball as they can start building a bit of advantage, which leads to another advantage, and things can get out of hand very quickly. So the extra looting by Couch definitely already paying off.
Also, it doesn't help Tybalt that he sold the farm trying to get that heroin robe, so no longer had the ice brand even to equip on Kane. But does get through that Rubicante, is going to pick up his Luca key from the King of Fabul. Odd for the Dark Knight to have visited early and dropped that off. Usually that's around the little girl's necklace and dwarf, but you know, she's her own.
Well, I mean, clearly he was just, kind of rude and stole it, and because he's a Dark Knight, and then he left it here. And when we get to Dwarf Castle, Luca's going to have a brand new necklace, and who knows, maybe it's his black sword, maybe he just traded it. Who knows? Nice light sword there in Sheila's tower. Not useful right now, but in the absence of Excals and crystal swords being available in treasure chests, that's basically the best Cecil holy sword you're going to find, unless you happen to either forge or get lucky from a quest reward or trap chest.
Also a rune axe as well up there, so no worries about having to buy one in Baron to get through, say, that Ashura at the Bygone spot. That's a Stardust Rod up on Ortiz.
Ooh, okay. Already had a Charm Rod. This is only going to be additional 5 Wisdom, but this Rydia now has another benefit on top of having Sylph, which is going to be very useful to do single target damage. I think the Stardust Rod is going to allow her to do AoE damage. So if you're running something like an Alt Gauntlet here on Ordeals, or something like a Calbrena or a Mom Bomb,
Zoe.
Oh no.
Zoe, did you curse him?
I did.
Zoe. So, in Free Enterprise, the Gauntlet itself is normally 6 fights, very scripted. 3 Officer Soldiers, 2 Imp Weeper, and something else I forget off the top of my head, and 1 Gargoyle. But we decided to mix it up, so we have the Alt Gauntlet, which pulls 5 fights from enemies in the surrounding areas. In this case, a bunch of zombies, Weepers, Revenant Spirits, Souls, and just a lot of monsters running across a bridge.
What? Did Tybalt get the Stardust Rod?
I don't think he did.
Oh no.
It's like, quick, Tybalt, reset, go back down the floor, check this. Oh no, he did. That's a Stardust Rod. He did.
Okay. Whew. Well, better now than at the Ogopogo spot, I guess.
I'm still waiting for that hard required Gauntlet of Ogopogo in this flag set.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm better now.
One thing Tybalt doing, I noticed that Edward is down on his screen, probably leaving him as an anchor for right now. Don't have a spoon. If we pick up a spoon, probably let Edward get levels, but right now, I can understand the reasoning of leaving him down.
Yeah. Also, just letting Martin take a well-deserved nap. I believe Martin was comms earlier. Yeah. So, very, very kind. Whereas me, I'm stuck here using the Stardust Rod. That's my penance for commentators cursing an alt gauntlet into existence, I suppose.
But Couch, using that Stardust Rod, gets through that fight with no difficulty whatsoever. Takes a safety save. Do not blame him, because who wants to go through that heck again? And it gets rewarded with some D-Liners.
This spot for the D-Liners is sure a thing. I hate D-Liners here. A lot.
Hey, you want to cast Sylph? Here, have a Grimoire with Sylph.
Okay. Hey, I didn't know that didn't actually trigger the remedy counter. Good to know.
Yeah, the Grimoire item does not trigger the remedy. The direct cast will trigger the remedy. But
all right, everything is fine then.
Yeah, we're already down 1. At this point, just let Rydia go to town. So we are so fast, we might still get to a breath cast at some point. There we go.
I'm being very careful about what I say from now on.
So no mentioning the Golbez. It's probably hiding in this next room, right?
Yeah, that was all you. That's all you. Nope, not me. If I was going to say it, I'd say it would be Wyvern, so.
Well, I was kind of hoping when I saw that sparkle that it was, but alas, it was just the DMs. Or the D-Liners. DMs would have been nice. That's an objective. Anyway, congratulations. You have climbed this mountain. You have gained your rightful prize of a Pinktail.
Oh, value.
Zoe. I tried. We apologize. We've had to mute commentary so we don't get her laughing on screen. Oh my god! Okay, hold on. All right, we're fine now. We're okay. That was Wyvern. Wyvern's down. We're good. Couch has gone his way back down the mountain. Tybalt did get the breath phase in the D-Liner fight. Got a single frog, and is now kind of working his way through the other one who unfortunately did not get frogged. In the meantime, Couch heading back over to Baron is going to crush the town with the airship before hopping out to take on the Baron in fights, I assume.
No more predictions.
But Zoe, you don't want to predict who might be in the second spot here?
No, I'm 2 for 2. I don't want to do it again.
Ooh, this D-Liner fight getting very, very close here on the Tybalt side. But yeah, gets the second Reflect Frog, so we are safe now. And that is a bonus round.
Woo! Bonus round. Yeah, on Tybalt's side, this is why I don't like the D-Lunars on this particular location. It can get really out of hand very quickly when they get a few extra turns into their script. The fire, HP based damage, that spot's relatively punchy, and you're basically losing a couple turns on the counter towards their breath script. Fortunately, Tybalt does get the Star Veil up and gets through it.
And takes a safety save because we all know what's coming.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tybalt.
the meantime, this demist at the second spot in Baron Inn, probably one of the best places to find her. This is a very, very slow spot. It does unfortunately mean that in this mist phase, it's going to be a little bit, but with 4 party members, demist only attacks 3 times before going to mist. You cannot lose this fight.
Yeah, this is also really good because this spot is incredibly punchy. So not only is this a great spot to find demist, this is for demist's sake, it's also for this spot's sake because, you know, with 3 characters, you're always going to get 3 hits, and even if they completely wipe your party or 3 members of your party, you'll have the time to get your party back up. We do find a Sand Ruby. That is a good character check. Could be our Rosa, could be a vanilla Rosa, could be a Fu, could be an Edge, could be something like a Porum, which is what you wouldn't want to see here. I imagine Couch goes and checks that pretty quickly. But we're running out of locations. I think all we have left is the demist turn in here, and then Baron Key, and that has to lead to our underground in some form or fashion. One of those 2.
Yeah, that starting Baron Key might be our way underground in that Baron trash can. Or it could be here at demist, which Couch is about to let us know what it is. That's going to be in the Baron trash can.
All right, so either directly from the Baron trash can, it could also be through the Twin Harp, or it could be through the Earth Crystal, or it could be through both. Twin Harp into Earth Crystal into your Magma Key or your hook. For those maybe wondering in chat with the Baron Key, why we say specifically the Baron Pot, because since the Odin spot is a K summon location, it cannot hold your logical access underground. So no worries about having to go through a nasty Odin spot boss here.
That's a vanilla Rosa.
Hey! That is objective number 4 for Couch 23, as well as the best white mage in the game.
Gets rid of the palette for the Rosa.
Yeah, looks like eyeing Zerker strats here has the Asura and Sylph on Iridia. So Iridia is going to be marginally more useful, especially if you maybe find some good gear to make that Rosa into an archer. You could go Zerker strats with Asura heals later. I don't hate it.
In case you missed it, they're still for sale in Kaipo. Yeah, that might be a reason to sell everything. Pick up one of those heroine robes for your Rosa.
Yeah, absolutely. Rosa with the heroine robe, if you can get her either an Artemis bow or a samurai bow or even an elven bow, has really good accuracy and something mute arrows are better. She can dish out quite a bit of damage and have access to a lot of ways to exploit boss weaknesses.
In the meantime, Couch is going to dive straight into that Baron Castle check. Having checked Demas, got the Protect Ring, picks up his Rosa, and says, all right, let's go. It's been a rather linear seed so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, very, very linear. When you get kind of just forced down into like Baron or Zot for your underground access, we typically see very linear starts just because those are locations you don't want to do very early. And you want to get the rest of your locations out of the way because they're a bit easier, a bit faster. But I imagine both the runners are going to be here in Baron before long. Now, what'll get maybe a little spicy, say we find a Fu here and it's a hook route. If it's a nasty hook route, do you maybe think, let's go look at some of the moon stuff if you've got something like Nuke?
I think that would depend on what's in the Evelyn shop. If Evelyn shop has coffins and or hourglasses, and or sirens for that matter, I might go moon. I might just be like, let's take a small quick grind, see if we can get Rosa up to mute. Pick up the sirens, do warlocks, and then just go wreck the moon before going underground.
Yeah, if you find siren hourglasses, if you are on a nasty hook route and you've got access to a Fu or a Tella, oh boy, that is real good. I'm still waiting for someone to be gutsy enough with Vanilla Giant on to do a pre-hook D-Machine grind and it pay off with a boss or a character from the giant.
So wait, my race is until Saturday. Gotta wait till then.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Couch making quick work of Dark Elf's second form with that Stardust Rod. Gets plenty of damage through. Going to show us who is masquerading as the King of Baron tonight. To answer a question in chat, Tybalt has done a little bit more shopping and just kind of a little bit behind due to a longer D-Laner fight for the most part. That's really the only thing. I think Antlion crawled out the wrong hole today.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how the citizens of Baron never noticed that their king lives underground. That seems like something that would be cause for concern.
Meantime, that board AI showing its rearing its ugly head takes out that Rosa immediately.
Yeah.
Having to use a life potion to get her back up.
Yeah, Couch using the Stardust Rod with the radio, just kind of probably muscle memory at that point, and goes, "Oh wait, I have Sylph."
And the good thing about this party for Antlion fight is 3/5 of this party has things it can do without having to worry about triggering the counter of Antlion.
Yep. And the magic in this location is not very pleasant, so that counter would be hitting pretty hard.
It actually didn't be think about 4 of the 5 do, because that Edward can use that lovely dancing dagger.
Ooh, yes. This poor Rosa just cannot stay up. There we go, got her back up. There's a bit of a crumble, and you're going to see who the Baron character is. We no longer need an objective character, but there's still plenty of value to be found for this party. And then, what's our next step? Are we going straight underground through a Magma Key? Are we going down a hook route? Or are we going to go the full chain here, Twin Harp into Tower of Zot?
Well, first we're going to get an edge up on the seed.
Ooh, Ninja Boy.
Ditches the Edward, which I completely and totally agree with at this point. Which means, of course, logically, this will be the spoon down here.
Yeah, but then you have someone that can throw it instead of equip it. It's fine. You ditched the fake Edward for the real Edward. That's all you've done.
I guess if it is, I know this can't be the spoon. I'm just hoping.
If we will it hard enough, and if I say it enough times, I think we can make it be the spoon. Or it could be... This is going to somehow be the spoon. Yes.
So it's a Magma Key.
Spoon on Odin Throne is the call there. Yeah, Magma Key, there we go. No further rabbit holing to get underground. No nasty hook route. The trade-off there is now the King Queen Evelyn spot's going to be very much out of our way, and if that's where our Dark Imps are hiding, that'll be obnoxious. It looks like Couch is going to peek back in, going to face check this boss, maybe, or is just doing some looting.
Hey, in case you didn't already have the Ice Brand or the Still Summon, here, have another one.
Yeah, absolutely. Really wants to make sure you have Sylph in this seed. But if this is something like King Queen Eblin, you can go ahead and take that. Otherwise, you're just getting information on whether or not this is a free fight or your objective boss or what have you.
And there are a few fights that might be doable here. Kaipo Guard for one. He just picked up a Star Veil, so this might be doable here.
Yeah, I think this would be nicer. I think he has some literals. This would be nicer if you had that heroin robe. So Rose is going to go down, but you've got Sylph. If you can... Did your edge come with a Thunderclaw by any chance?
We'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, the Ice 2 here is going to be not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, that Life 2 is going to hurt. That's why I say I'd pop a Star Veil on possibly my Rydia and just keep her alive, let her sylph, and then that way the life tubes or the ice tubes bounce off her, let Leviathan kill itself.
Speaking of ice tube, if anyone could hear that.
Oh, and the edge is down.
Yep. 1992, good year.
I'm trying to think back what I was doing in 1982.
I was busy being a bab.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, I'm like, I was 9. I don't know what I was doing. I don't remember those years. That was so long ago.
I was, depending on what time of year it was, I was either 1 or 2. So. But yeah, with that edge going down, be a good opportunity to equip the longsword that Chad is saying that Couch picked up to go with what presumably is a Thunderclaw that he has equipped. This is a long fight. It looks like he's got it stable if he can get some healing off.
Yeah, toss the veil up onto the edge, I noticed, which is, again, the strategy I thought of would work best. That way, anything that hits towards edge is just going to bounce. And that doesn't look like Thunderclaw damage. Not sure what edge has it done.
It looks like he is punching with the Thunderclaw, but I think it maybe has, like, the Dancing Dagger for the other.
I mean, I guess base level edge with Thunderclaw still only does 300 damage?
Yeah, you really, for your edge, you really need a Thunderclaw alongside a very good weapon so that you can get the multiplier on top of basically that weapon's power.
Yeah, but I definitely like what Couch is doing here, tossing the slows with Rosa every time her turn comes around. Any little bit of slowing you can get on this Leviathan at this point is going to be helpful.
Yeah.
That helps too with the bounce dice too.
Yeah, this is also this is taking quite a long time. Tybalt has caught up, gotten through the antlion fight. He's going to get his magma key. If he goes straight underground, and this spot is a bit of a womp. This is sometimes you see a fight and you go, I can do that, but then you have to think of what Dr. Ian Malcolm said.
It's like, yes, I can do it, but should I do it?
Yeah. But if this pays off and it's like the hook, then big brain Couch, I will never doubt you again.
I just thought I thought of the right quote, because my first thought was life will find a way, and I'm like, that doesn't fit here.
The life potions will find a way.
The life potions is what we're running out of, the more Leviathan kills our Rosa off every time.
Chat asking, this is early, do you consider keeping the experience here even if the item is a dud? Yes. You've sunk a lot of time into this fight. You keep whatever you get from this experience item, doesn't matter.
Yeah, at this point, Tybalt, not even face checking, says, let's get underground, let's see what's down there. So again, this pays off for Couch. They'll be in a great spot. If not, only going to be maybe a minute behind Tybalt, so not really too much loot to lose here.
Tybalt kicked me to the bench.
That's a nice item to find before you go underground.
Ooh, yeah, that's huge. It may turn into a double womp, but that is something that allows you to not have to double dip Sylph Cave. So if Tybalt eventually does make his way here, they'll presumably have already done Sheila 1. You know, that's about a minute of time save that Couch will get back from that fight. If that turns into something like Hook Legend Sword, then that's hard required. Yeah, that's a very spicy item. It's kind of Schrodinger's gamble right now. Is it actually going to have paid off, or is it just going to be something that gets us closer to 10 key items?
Either way, having that done, not having to worry about going back to Baron again, is a huge boon for Couch. I can tell you, the forgetting about Baron Basement is a real thing and can haunt you in some races.
Yeah. Ugh. Baron Basement is one of those locations that if you don't do it when you're nearby, it can be very easy to fade. So I will see a lot of runners after they do maybe Tower of Zot, they go in there after if they've already done Baron Castle going, all right, I need to do this. Let me just do this while I'm here. Even if it's not the most optimal routing as far as taking the fight when there's better places to go. You just don't want to forget about it.
Silk Webs and Tomra, that's a nice find for our eventual Z fight later on.
Yep, I normally like taking a couple of them here because if I run into something like a nasty Odin or anything along those lines, I like being able to have an extra Silk Web available, but at least one for my Zeromus fight. Absolutely. Immediate purchase.
Product safety engineer was our job dwarf tonight.
If you were the job dwarf, what would your profession be?
Right now, parking manager, which is not as glorious as it sounds. Trust me.
I was going for more of a joke answer because I was going to say mine would be I am a witch, considering my propensity for calling stuff as a commentator, which is not by choice. It's a curse.
That's not a joke answer though. That's the actual, that's an actual answer considering.
Look, when they say it's commentator's curse, it doesn't mean the commentator is supposed to be cursed with psychic powers.
But wasn't the commentator's curse flag set like sometime previous in the community race before the tournament started?
Yeah, and I wrote that one too.
In the meantime, Couch running over to the Feymarch, as is Tybalt.
Yeah, despite the length of Couch's Leviathan fight, only a few steps behind Tybalt here, and we still don't know if that pan is going to hold value. That ninja sword, though, is some nice value.
And that's some nice value in the Feymarch freebie. That is a twin harp.
Oh boy. Alrighty, that's gives us access to objective number 1 here. Both the runners have in their inventory, as far as we know right now, basically half of this seed done. Still need either both halves of the forge, a hook, or to find that Dark Imps fight. 2 of those 3.
In the meantime, the Feymarch shop says, for all your camping gear, we have cabins, we have tents, we actually also have star bales if you want them. That's a free-ish Leviathan fight and a, oh gosh, I don't ever want to touch you, Ashura spot.
Oh my gosh, that Asura location is nasty. And just like with the Bahamut spot, that Asura spot, with just a little bit of help, Edward can hide and it'll finish itself off. But I think you need to do about 3,000 damage to it on your own, and then the Eddie Hyde can finish it off.
Yeah, you much rather see, if you're going for Eddie strat, you much rather see that Evil Wall in the Leviathan spot where you know it can kill itself, or take itself out, I should say, part of my language. That sure spot, as you said, it needs help, and sometimes it's hard to get that help before Evil Wall does Evil Wall things.
Yep. But looking here, I think we have a single coffin. So if this is Officer Soldier, then we have what we need for it. If this is Baron Guards, we can take down half of it and Brunax our way through the other half.
It's Officer Soldier. If we can get this coffin off fast enough. Oh, we're going to go for straight up hourglass strats, and that works too.
I don't think Tybalt found the coffin. I know Couch has one.
It does not look like it.
Couch found another ninja, another Sylph. Okay, game. We have Sylph. It's fine. But looks like opting to leave without taking this Officer Soldier.
Fields has enough. Oh, are we just unlocking, or are we going to go check this?
Oh, Couch with the Couch. I don't know what you're doing. Like, I'm not criticizing. This is just a game plan that is too big brain for me to understand right now.
I mean, I can understand opening up the cave and then saving out just to get the key out of your inventory, but no, he's going out and checking this. That is amazing. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, so I can get this if you're feeling behind. And you may
By the
feel
way,
behind after that Leviathan fight, but you've got the pan that you haven't seen if it paid off yet.
by the way, you want another orb? Because that was an Odin orb there.
At least it wasn't Sylph.
Also, quick shout out to Count Ziara for the 14 months subscription. We appreciate it.
Couch has not checked Sheila yet, either Sheila 1, 2, or the Sylph item from the pan. Gambling for either the information or the finding the dark imps here. This is a play that, as much as it slightly confuses me, it confuses me because I think Couch is a better runner than I am. I would do this. I would peek this. It's not that much of a time investment. And honestly, if he's feeling ahead from the pan, this could be something to try and push advantage, saying, I have a little bit of time to spare. Let's see if I can pull off something cheeky.
And that's cheeky. That's an Earth Crystal. By the way, our tracker, Judge Infinity, pointing out that the pan bonk turn-in was a siren.
Ah, okay. I missed that part. I was too busy focused on Tybalt's officer-soldier fight and the setup therein.
That's a Magus Sisters. That's actually not that bad down there, but Couch saying, no, I'm good for right now.
Yeah, you presumably have that rune axe, but goes, okay, I know where the earth crystal is. Let's move on. Yeah, it's very, very speedy, very high magic there. If you can take out the front sister with like a rune axe jump or two, should be able to get through it, but hadn't bothered to heal. Looks like he was only there for exactly the information and would have maybe taken it if it was a free fight.
Meantime, Tybalt gets through the officer, now has only the soldiers to worry about. The soldiers will just hit themselves quite a few times once they get unstopped due to our hourglass. If they get unstopped, depends, Hourglass 2s last a long time.
Yeah, they should. I don't think they're gonna come unhourglassed, to be quite honest.
I've seen it happen. It's possible.
It is possible. It takes quite a bit of time.
It's scary when it happens to you, I can tell you. That's hourglasses for sale in Dwarf Castle. That's a nice find.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to wonder if Couch maybe doesn't realize that he has that coffin, because he didn't even bother to peek to see if this was Officer Soldier or if it was Baron Guards. Maybe just thought, well, whichever one it is, it's free, but I can't take it right now. As someone who has definitely lost an item in their inventory, I wouldn't be surprised.
In the meantime, Tybalt is through the Officer Soldier fight, pulls up a lot of experience, and gets a hook. That's big.
Oh, that is big. So that gives us our objective number 3. We're now just the Forge or the Dark Imps away from Go mode, because we already have Darkness Crystal in hand. Couch, you need to get back to Fey March.
So I would not be surprised to see Tybalt go face check Luca Cave for those DMs. Pass in a full moon from Sheila. Sheila's complete whammy right there.
No, that pass I think could come into play here, because that's locked behind that Baron basement. If Couch decides to go back because he knows that's a free fight, when he feels a bit more comfortable to take it, he can get that hook. And if Tybalt finds the Dark Imps or gets pieces of Forge, he may not get that pass, and we could see the difference between a runner's B and LST dive that gets equalized by Couch having that pass.
The problem is pass is Sheila 1, so no pan needed.
It was Sheila 1. You can,
yeah, that's why I'm saying bog.
You can interrupt me whenever I'm talking.
No. I'll let you have your say, and then I'll correct you afterwards. It's fine.
You can save me from myself, again, but you have the power.
Meantime, Tybalt going down to set up that Sheila 1 check. Will probably be heading up to pick up his pass here shortly. In the meantime, Couch is going to give the people what they want. We're going to get a Twin Harp check.
The magnetic field is in effect. I don't have a follow-up for that.
I had a follow up, but I couldn't give it because I was stuck.
Touche.
Look, we had Oscar and Martin on the restream before us. It's kind of hard to live up to that, you know?
Yeah, that's a hard act to follow. And I peaked early this restream. I'm sorry, I don't have anything else. Tybalt gonna go get his hovercraft and go probably turn this pink tail. You're hoping for the item itself, maybe a Dragoon Spear to facilitate a grind, maybe an Avenger just for some good damage, or Masamune to give that edge a bit more firepower. Oh, Rydia can't even hit herself. No.
He's like, what's this attack command? I don't normally do this. Also, Tybalt showing us it is a Yang, or Karate Man in the waterfall tonight.
He's just training, you know, stereotypical monk under a waterfall. And Tybalt interrupted him and said, "Oh, so sorry." And what a lovely harp song.
Yes, it was. I just want to point out the fact that, you know, Anna going, "Ah!" to start that off was a stroke of brilliance.
That was very, very, very nice. Tybalt turning in the pink tail, getting an Artemis bow, Couch finishing off Cave Magnes, lighting up that objective number 1, getting a tower key. I imagine that's going to be high on our priority list here. There was a really neat optimization that Tybalt pulled off with his pink tail routing. He grabbed the hovercraft, dropped it off on the island, then went to go turn in Sheila 1, coming back afterwards, turning the pink tail. I have to imagine that was in case Sheila 1 has the rat tail, I don't want to have to do this part twice.
I would say I agree with that. That's bitten me a couple of times before where I've gone and done pink one tail, then do Sheila 1, they gave me the other tail. I'm like, oh, well, back to the grotto I go.
Yep. Save me a little bit of time.
Also, I like what Tybalt's doing here. He's going to go check the character down here, probably face check the bosses, see if it's what we need. It's a Tella and an Odin. And are we just going to go down and check King Queen for Dark Imps, or are we actually taking this Tella?
What does this Tella do for us? We have hourglasses. We have sirens. This could be our grind. Anchor.
Could also be for exit.
Could be for exit, yeah. Get you out of here. Allow you to leave the LST if you need to. Could be a good anchor as well. Couch, however, going back underground, heading over to Dwarf Castle. Going to show us, is that a Golbez?
That is some French vanilla Golbez right there. That is not the spot you want to see Golbez in any way, shape, or form.
No, not at all. This spot has pretty high magic, has a lot of HP because it has the HP of all of the Cals, the Brainas, and the Cal Braina combined.
And then you're going to be down 3 party members going into whatever the fight after that is. Yeah.
Also, to point out 2 things real fast. One, our reward for the Pigtail was an Artemis Bow. I'm not sure if we mentioned it. The second, Tybalt has found sirens in the Evelyn shop.
Yeah, by virtue of having the edge, we technically had access to them, but now we have much faster access to them. But yeah, between Tella now, Hourglasses in, I believe it was the Dwarf shop, and Sirens here, our grind is a go. Tybalt is sitting on 2, 4, 6, 8 key items. A couple more key items, and he can go do some King Ryu's and just do the moon whenever he would like.
So if I'm Tybalt here, you've got Twin Harp in hand. I go do Twin Harp, hope it gives me a key item. We know it's going to in the tower key. Do you think that'll push him straight to tower, hoping for at least 1 key item out of those 2 checks and then starts grinding?
I would. I think that is exactly what I would do. The tower key, at the very least, with this party, both spots shouldn't be too difficult. And if you run into something nasty at the top, you can always, grab the tower key on the way out.
Meantime, Couch was able to get a Star Rail up on Edge before Golbez took him out, so has that Veil up, is working his way through Golbez, going to try to light some people up. We'll see if RNG holds or if Golbez says, no, Edge, you're the only one who lives.
No Kane, only Edge. So, who do we not want to see after this? We have one party member. Oh yeah, I was thinking it. I was gonna let you say it first. Ogopogo is who I would not want to see after this.
100%. Granted, Edge has enough HP where he'll survive that big wave, but that's not a fight you want to go into with only 1 viable character.
Got a question in chat. What could be nasty at the top of tower? Kainatsu.
Yes. Oh, that's Luge. That's free.
Okay.
Especially with a Thunderclaw Edge. Yeah, that's free. Hey, look, another Rosa.
Oh, that Sand Ruby was not hard required anymore because there was a duplicate Rosa in the seed. But both the runners having that Rosa early to get some experience on her are going to be too upset about a second one being available later. Also very interesting, our runners' third levels are nearly identical right now. Like the HP values are basically 10 HP apart in various directions.
Couch, unfortunately, giving the Balnav Z script the operations directly. Edge says, I don't think so, and by that, we won't be quiet as we get a reprise of our beautiful Undertale music. In the meantime, Couch did get through that Dwarf Castle check, picks up the rat tail. He now has both tails, just no hook to turn them in. But after doing Dwarf, going to climb that tower. We're going to go see Tower key in hand, let's go see what's up at the top and then come down to the tower key room, see if it's any type of progression. Unfortunately, what we know is Couch needs to go do that Kypo guards at Leviathan.
Yeah, it really helps if you're on commentary and you don't leave your mic muted from when you're listening to the harp music.
Okay, I got you.
Hopefully, after he does this, he remembers that there's a free fight at the Leviathan spot, and he goes back for it because he has 10 key items in hand already. Getting a hook, he could get his sirens, and he would get his pink tail turn in. And if say this, pays out in any significant fashion, because Tybalt is going to go spend some time against Leviathan.
Yeah, Tybalt's going to route in, which I agree with this routing. It's a nice little routing. You're already up here. You're rolling past Baron on your way back down. Might as well go ahead and check this. We know what it's going to be. We know it's a rabbit hole, but this will give Couch a good chance to catch up just a little bit as Tybalt goes around through those.
Casting Titan here, I actually don't hate it. Certain times you take this fight straight up and you just take out the defender and kill the CPU, and then other times you go, no, I'll play the Battle of Attrition.
I mean, Orb Grind. Everybody loves to go to Orb Grind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a completely viable grind, and this spot isn't the worst for experience points.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty decent spot for an Orb Grind, all things considered.
Yep, Berserk Edge. Let him get some hits in.
And that is a target for the Globe 199 you'd like to see, because Sid is your anchor. So, hey, if he goes down, no worries, we're good. Thank you.
Yep. Gonna sit on this Rosa's turn. Go to pop a life, get people back up. Just want to make sure that she's not the target of the next globe, so you don't waste the life potion.
Or just going to parry around and try to get a jump off with Kane, and unfortunately Kane was the next target.
Yep. These globes are going to be coming back up. Can be pretty dicey because when you try and live someone back up, the attacking node can mazer and just put them right back on the floor. So your timing has to be pretty nice, or you can just recast Titan if you wanted to. That would work as well.
Yep, down go the attacker and defender again. CPU's like, oh no, I'm going to have to globe again in a minute. Meanwhile, Tybalt goes through that Leviathan fight a lot faster with a lot more levels, going to get his pan and probably chase that to the two enemies we know it is.
Yep. Couch through that CPU fight, quite a bit of experience there. Taking out 2 extra orbs basically gives you 66% more experience than you would have gotten. And a Levia orb, you do have your Radius still, and that is better than Titan, but it's not the progression you wanted to see.
No, but maybe it jogs Couch's memory and says, hey, free boss of the Leviathan.
Yeah.
Take it on.
The CPU there is saying, hey, this is a reminder. It's a very cryptic message that Leviathan is a hint about where you should go next. So we just need to see how good Couch is at, ARGs and deciphering codes. Oh, man. Golbez left his dolls in here.
Tybalt going straight to Dwarf Castle. Not going to check that pan first. A little surprised, but it's not a bad play.
Scala asking, is FE an ARG? Scala, you worked with me to create ARG clues for Enterprise Legacy. You know that FE is an ARG. Scala in my ear. Oh yeah, I did that.
Look, Legacy was so long ago now, you don't even think about it. It's just, ugh.
I blinked and the dolls are gone. Okay, Couch is going to walk out.
And Tybalt finds the news of that Frenchman of the Golbez and immediately resets, which I don't blame him.
Yeah, nope, don't want to do that. At this point, the rat tail there cannot be hard required. So that's a pretty decent reset, actually.
Tracker pointing out it's not like half this Reach stream involved wasn't heavily involved with Legacy, with you as its creator and Infinius as the winner of the first season of Enterprise and Legacy. Speaking of the Reach team, special shout outs to Scala, our Reach streamer, Infinius, our tracker, and you, Zoe. That's a package from the Tower Key, by the way, so that's a whammy, unfortunately, for Couch.
Yep. Yeah, hate to see it. Couch, left. No! You were thinking.
Yep. Couch is going to go to the moon. So at this point, Tybalt's going to take these 2 checks. Then he's only going to have the wall at Ashura left on, and Luca Cave as the 2 checks left here on Earth. If I'm Tybalt here after these 2 checks, I start face checking immediately.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what situation doesn't punish Couch too harshly for coming to the moon. Obviously,
room with both Legend and Adamant.
With the Dark Imps as the boss.
Yes.
Yeah, if you find both halves up here and Dark Imps up here, that's pretty nice. If you, if that rat tail leads to 1/2 of Forge and Dark Imps is somewhere like on the Giant or behind that package, that also benefits you because you're likely going to go do that Bay March first. But yeah, if Couch can find both halves in the Dark Imps up here, oh man. Never before have I seen fading a free boss work out.
The problem for Couch is this. There's going to be no gating key items up here on the moon. We know the Earth Crystals at Luca Cave. That's the only gating key item left. Nothing up here is gating, therefore there's going to be nothing to tempt him to reset and save scum.
Yeah.
So if he's up here, he's going to full clear before he goes back down.
Yeah, absolutely. That could work to his benefit because if maybe the Earth Crystal was still up here, maybe that's 1/2 of the Forge, and you reset out right before the other half. He can get his levels through moon bosses, and if the bosses up here aren't too rude, maybe he makes it pretty expeditiously through here. And even if he doesn't leave here with go mode, I imagine that Fey March is the first place that he goes.
In the meantime, Tybalt took out the dolls in the cannon rooms up here on that CPU orb. I don't think that CPU orb is going to be long for this world. Couch deep diving, going to go down to the bottom, work his way bottom up, which I understand the play.
Yeah, when you're looking for 2 key items as potential, because you don't know that the hook is in Fey March, you're looking for 2 key items for one objective, 1 for another. You want to maximize your key item checks, and the boss check is kind of secondary. You're going to be clearing everything until such a time that maybe you find both halves of the Forge, or if the hook was here, you find that hook, then you just start face checking everything else. See what we got, though.
That's a Mylon Z asking us to fall flat into the deep ravine. Mylon, we're already very, very deep into the LST, so not really much farther we can fall.
No hesitation. Uses that Moon Veil with Kane. This fight is now free. No matter how long it takes, Couch will get through it. Gonna go ahead and yeet this light sword at Mylon's face. And we'll just have to see how long this is going to take, because this is 42,000 hit points.
Did Couch pick up Bacchus wine when he was down in Tomra? I believe he did.
I don't know. That cast of Berserk there makes me wonder. I know Couch, at least at one point, did have a boomerang in his inventory, and I have to wonder if Boomerang Ninja here doing extra damage because Mylon Z is flying would be more damage than Double Ninja, but Mylon Z says, I don't care. You're going to take a nap.
Mylon says, you will not have an edge on me, not this day. In the meantime, Tybalt also going low strats against the CPU, takes down both of the orbs and has 2 Zerkers up.
I believe with that damage, does that Kane still have the Blizzard Spear equipped?
No, Kane is rocking, I believe, a Rune Axe.
Rune Axe, okay. Because Milo and Zed, being a flying enemy, would be weak to spears, and even though he is normally resistant to ice, the wind attribute on spears would take priority and do the bonus damage. Unless Blizzard Spear is one of the weird spears that loses the wind element for some reason.
But yeah, Couch seems to have this fight very, very well in hand. Using that Rosa to blink up, keep everybody alive, Sylph coming out, keep everybody healed up. Edge just going to town with Zerg status, Kane jumping, Sid's there. Couch will get through this with little to no problem, I think.
I don't think Couch ever found life potions for sale. Very, very low on life potions right now. Probably just working through that starter kit set.
Well, 9 times out of 10, that's all you need, but it's always helpful to pick up some more. Anyway, Tybalt's going to pick up his package from that super can room. And I'm gonna go do some grinding.
Yeah, do some grinding. Go ahead and get out of the way. Definitely don't hate it. I prefer doing it on the moon, but do what you are most comfortable with. In this particular flag set, all the grinds are about equivalent as far as speed, especially if you can one-shot eggs. That was not a one-shot on the egg.
Well, one thing with it, well, he's got a 10 key item, so, coming down here doing this, not a bad play. Plus, might be thinking, hey, I want to go take on that wall next. I want to go take on Luca Cave before I go to the moon, just in case Moon's completely haunted. Speaking of haunted, that's a haunted ribbon room, a white shirt and a class.
Ugh. Well, you love the experience you got there, for sure. Got your party up into the high 30s and low 40s. But yeah, you really wanted at least one of those to pay off. Now you're more well equipped to take on stuff like this White Spear Altar and the Masamune Altar. Hopefully they are faster fights. Something like a King Queen Eblin would be good, or maybe even a Bahamut. Oh, there's value.
That's the DMs of the White Spear. That is huge for Couch right now.
Yep. So now, if he can find both halves of the forge up here, then he'll be golden.
But there goes his one coffin.
Yeah. If this leads to one half the forge, then this is going to be hard required, and the hook is almost a moot point, assuming the other half of the forge is not in, like, say, Zot, or behind that evil wall.
Tybalt, unfortunately, having problems one-shotting these dragons. They are pretty dang resilient.
Yep. Doesn't have something like a Dragoon Spear, Artemis Arrows, or a Iridia with a Dragon Whip. Doesn't have an Assassin Dagger or anything like that to very quickly take them out. After getting a few levels, though, maybe a Cane Jump can one-shot them. Couch life glitching one of these Dark Imps. Every little bit of experience is helpful here. A nice cool 104,000 there. Don't hate that at all. Let's see if this pays off, aside from the objective.
Nope, that is just a spoon, and, well, I mean, we can dart it.
We have seen every key item now, except for both pieces of forge. Scala, where did you hide them?
I think somehow beyond all logic, Scala is hidden them behind both bosses on the giant. Don't ask me how, it just happened. Anyway, Tybalt finally turning in the pans, going to get that free Siren. Going to head up to Sheila to get whatever whammy was up there, because I don't remember at this point. And
Chat asking, we've seen the Earth Crystal. Yes, it is in sealed cave. It is being guarded by, I've already forgotten, Magus Sisters. Couch peeked it and then reset out.
There's a freebie at the Ogo spot. That's what you want to see if you're Couch.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice little bit of experience. And at this point, if it's a key item, it's going to be something that we need. Now, if Tybalt follows this through, beats the Magus Sisters, gets that Earth Crystal, and goes to do Zot, if that's Forge, that gets...
Yeah,
I shouldn't speculate too much, but we're running out of options.
Yeah, if a piece of Forge is in Zot, this is Tybalt's to lose at this point. If Zot is a whammy and Tybalt follows it through, Couch still has a chance. But once Tybalt goes to the moon, I'm sure he'll probably face check everything first instead of fighting everything, and will find that DM pretty dang fast and be in go mode, especially considering where it is and the fact that that will be go mode for him.
It's right next to the save point, yeah.
And just run straight down to Z.
Yep. So right now it is a case of, we know that both halves of the Forge are either on the moon or behind Zot or an evil wall. There's the adamant. Okay.
Yeah, there's one.
There's one. So we know that Tybalt's route to go mode is going to basically be that DM's fight. So the longer he takes to go to the moon is more time that Couch can make up trying to now find only the Legend Sword. Bad news for Couch, there are 3 spots left on the moon, and there are 2 spots left on Earth that we know about, 3 for him. So it's 50-50.
Yeah, again, I'm Couch in this situation. I have to full clear. Again, there's nothing, just that adamant, you're still in need of another key item. There's no gating key item, so you're not going to get anything that's going to tempt you to go running. Tybalt resets out of the Magus Sisters.
Worst case scenario for Couch is that Legend Sword is behind Rat Tail.
That would be worst case. Because Tybalt still is not on Dwarf Castle.
Right, because he saw that gold bez and went, no thank you.
That's not that bad of a mom bomb here at Crystal. Okay, maybe so.
Yeah, Mom Bomb here is actually really nasty.
Never mind, I forgot how hard she hits here.
Yep, and we used our Moon Veil on Mylon Zed.
Yep, there's the reset. A little lower the battle speed. Try it again. I like this play. Oh, you know what's going to be helpful in this fight? That glass hat we picked up from the ribbon room.
Oh, hey, yeah. That'll come in handy. Yeah, stick that edge in the back row, zerk him up, and just hope that he can survive.
And I'm tempted to rearrange my entire party here. Put Edge and Rose in the back row. Kane and Rydia, there we go, in the front row. It's like, Kane and Rydia, they don't survive. Oh, too bad. No big deal. But have that Rosa protected to get the cures off, have Edge zerked up, and just hope.
Now, there's also, if you can get her to the phase where she blows up, is about to explode, do you consider throwing the spoon here to see if you can get it before the explosion?
Yes, 100% yes. If we can get to the puffed up stage, I throw that spoon immediately. Mainly because depending on where we're at in the script, and our tracker pointing out a good point that Edge is going to be Zerk, so he can't really throw the spoon, but
if he tries hard enough. Oh, back row did not help Rosa.
No, it did not. That is one downed White Maid.
I mean, even Rosa apparently can be taken down by 2020, so.
And burning the elixir to get her back up to full health. This is the all-in pit play from Couch here.
Well, yeah, because I understand the logic. If this is your legend sword, you don't care about having that elixir anymore. If this isn't your legend sword, you reset. You get it back.
Very true. Meantime, Tybalt gets through the Magus Sisters, picks him up a nice shiny Earth Crystal. I would not be surprised to see him go straight to Zot.
Yeah, at this point, Tybalt has been dedicated to clearing out the Earth. It would be a bit of a surprise to see him go to the moon. We know that it's the right play. He will get go mode from the Dark Imps fight, but you don't want to leave after, especially having fight for that Earth Crystal, taking a wipe and resetting. You don't not check that. You push that and you go, okay, I need this to pay off somehow.
The Couch does get through that Mom Bomb fight.
All right, let's see.
Womp womp.
Womp, womp, womp. Life staff, though. You don't hate it from a
life staff
standpoint.
Yeah, life staff nice for a white mage, but not what you wanted to see there. And as our tracker pointed out a little earlier, Couch doesn't have exit. He's going to have to walk this all the way back out.
Yep, that feels bad. Rosa does not get exit until after you've cleared the Tower of Zot because it is a plot trigger. Doesn't have a Tella. We never found a Porum, never found a Cecil. Never found exits for sale, I don't believe. So yeah, Tybalt gonna go get his Womp from this Sheila 2 check, and then I imagine just fly slightly to the east and over to Treya.
Yeah, routing-wise, what Tybalt's doing makes perfect sense. You just got a Dirt Crystal, we're going to turn this in, get that full moon, that's what it was. It was a big whammy. And then say, okay, cool, let's climb the tower, see what's out there. It's two boss checks. We're still looking for the DMs on his side. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Do you loot the treasury at this point? Maybe try and pull something like some Murasames or Power Shirts or Zeus Gauntlets, or do you just go straight up Zot?
Hour 20 minutes in, no. I just go. The treasury's not worth it at this point. I'm done looting. Let's just go.
I'm tempted to agree. This party is anything but a free Z fight, though, so I could definitely see the argument to loot to get a bit more safety. Oh yeah, it's also time for our favorite game.
Raise that treasury!
All right. See what we got here. Oh, there's a power shirt.
Sork robe, that's nice.
Aegis shield, you actually really like to see. A Levia orb. Another ninja sword.
Another Stardust Rod White Spear, that's helpful.
Yeah. There's a ninja hat in there. This is actually like, if this Earth Crystal had been earlier in the seed, this is like a 10 out of 10 treasury for this party.
Yeah, I get a little shot that Tybalt went ahead and did it here, but you know, for what the value was, that power shirt, that white spear, ninja sword, Sork robe, good stuff.
Yeah, that white spear, now Kane actually has a real weapon, because to this point, the best thing we've had for him has been the rune axe. So that white spear, MVP of that treasury, power shirt, no slouch either.
In the meantime, we do see Couch taking on the Octomam in the Pale Dim spot. Already got a couple tentacles off, balancing this fight out. This should be relatively simple from this point.
Yep, having that, didn't equip the Thunderclaw before zerking up Edge. A little surprising, but maybe when you're just trying to get the fight going and get Octomam slowed down, you just care about getting the hits in. Gets it down, another cool 100,000 plus experience points. His grind.
Baby, that's level. That's value.
That is a go mode for Couch. Has pass in hand, has a bunch of levels from clearing out this moon. We're gonna go Forge, and depending on our levels, we might just be going straight into Zeromus.
Yeah, that shifts this entire race right here. Whereas Tybalt had a decent lead, getting that hook early, getting that pink tail. This firmly puts Couch back into the lead, with Tybalt unfortunately drawing dead going up Zot. We know we're not going to find a Dark Imps. We know we're not going to find Forge. he's going to have to go to the moon, and every second now is going to be a second he's losing.
Yeah, especially like even though both runners did end up with the pass here is going to benefit Couch, and it's going to be useless for Tybalt. Couch is going to be able to come back down and forge and immediately use the pass to go into Zeromus, whereas Tybalt is going to be on the moon when he gets his go mode and can just walk down anyway. Tybalt finding a Bahamut here. Not the Dark Imps he wants. We know they're not there. Buying some more Bacchus wines is Couch because, yeah, that's what he's going to. He's going all in on these Zerka strats. Get out of the way, Hummingway.
For a brief second, I thought Couch was going to buy 90 Bacchus wines. I'd be like, all right, just flex a little bit.
Yeah. Hankar's asking, what's the worst boss to find here in Zot for Tybalt? Nothing's going to really stand in his way, but I do have to agree that Plague is probably one of the worst because of the slow crumble. We've already seen Alt Gauntlet. That's out of the way. We've already seen Wyvern, but, you know, after this seed, a second Wyvern wouldn't be surprising. If he doesn't save, Ogo, or if he doesn't heal, Ogopogo could could be a little rude.
There's a Vanilla Cane at the first spot. Yeah, I would not be surprised, depending on what Tybalt does after this thought, if we don't see both runners in the sea fight at the same time, depending on Tybalt's routing.
I don't know. Having to dive down the LST to get to that Dark Imps and then kill it and then walk down to Zeromus. Depending on how smoothly Couch's Z-Fight goes, he could very well be done. That is Muras and Power Shirts for sale in the Cole shop. Couch doesn't have the Power Shirt from the Toria Treasury, but he may be selling this X-Cal to try and fund one, and maybe he doesn't. If he doesn't have two ninja swords, maybe he wants to buy a Murasame.
In the meantime, Tybalt finding the elements down here, or sorry, up here from the Power Zot. That's actually not very hard of a fight.
No, not at all. Yeah, let's sell everything, including the kitchen sink. We don't need any of this anymore. Needs 140k in order to buy 2 Power Shirts. Doesn't look like he's going to get enough for 2 Power Shirts and a Murasame, but no matter, he has double ninja sword, double ninja, Power Shirt. Only has that Blizzard Spear on Kane, which is not the best, but you got to do what you got to do.
So if you're Couch right here, do you just go, right? Because we know Siren's right now, but he doesn't have the hook.
What are his levels? I didn't see what his levels were. If he's at least level 45 on Edge, Kane, and Rosa, I think you go. I think he has 1 Siren. Oh, yeah, you're high 40s. Maybe he wants to just get a little bit of more insurance on Rosa, HP-wise. You take the 1 Siren.
That's exactly what he's going to do. Gets to 1 Siren. Meantime, Tybalt's through. I didn't quite see what Tybalt got. Looks like it was an X-Cal according to our tracker.
Yeah, life plus white shirt plus rune ring. Rosa probably doesn't need this insurance. This will get her to white. I don't see if you're doing Zerka strats, you're going to be casting white, but maybe if something goes really, really badly for some reason, you can finish off with a swag white. But a little bit of insurance experience. I don't hate it.
In the meantime, Tybalt has decided to forego that evil wall at Shura, head out to the moon. We know this is the right choice.
And we're very rapidly going to be approaching a question as we see the first Z flags come into chat. This has been a very wild seed. What sort of ending are we expecting here?
Something Wyvern to pop out and Mega Nuke everybody, and then we're just going to reroll the seed and do this all over again.
Cool, I'll get a second chance to make some crazy calls.
But no, in the randomizers, we're almost the final big bad. He's a little bit too big and too bad just to randomize straight up into the boss pool, but we don't want him to feel left out. So instead, we have 562, I believe? I think that's the current number.
526?
526. I misnumbered 526. I'm trying to give it more sprites than there are. But 526 different sprites as Aromas could be. So at the end of every seed, we don't know who we're going to see. So there's this question we like to ask, and Zoe, I will give you the honors.
Absolutely. Whose butt are we going to kick tonight? I am going to guess that it is going to be trying to think. I've got a few more seconds here.
I'm hoping for April Foolness, considering it is the first over on most people's sites.
No, one more day. There's another day. We talked about this. You're off by 24 hours.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. Okay. My days are still off.
I'm gonna call Wendy Omis.
Also, to answer your question in chat, it was a lunar sparkle at Cape Bahamut that Tybalt said, I'm not even going to look at you.
Okay. I couldn't get that one right. If I'd gotten that one right, I would have retired.
I would have been doing solo commentary? I don't want to do solo commentary.
Yeah, you would have immediately heard the disconnect from Discord sound had I guessed the correct Z sprite. Calling two bosses, like, that's like roughly the same chance as calling a Z sprite with some caveats. Calling a Z sprite straight up, it's a bit tougher.
Couch going into this DK miss, gets the Silk Web off. He's going to toss the Starveil with that Sid, so looking probably hybrid strats.
Yeah, maybe Lit 3 with Rydia. You don't have a ton of party power. Pure Zerg strats is going to require a lot of healing. So maybe you're going to be using white with this Rosa. Use Sid and Rydia as chemists until they fall, and then maybe just switch over to full Zerg at that point.
In the meantime, Tybalt did dive straight down to the bottom of the LST and goes to the right fight in the right spot, finds his DMs.
Yep. They say no to that Tella, who, can try and get off a stone here, or just going to weak them so you can life glitch them. I can see that if you're looking to use this as your grind as well.
Yeah, probably wants a little bit more levels on that Edge and that Rosa to get disease, but probably with life glitching two of them should be able to get enough to get through and get the levels he wants for that Z fight.
That Big Bang coming out. Not doing too much. Okay, I see what we're doing. We're going to heal with the Rydia's Asura summon, as long as we don't hit that life spell that just happened, and use Rosa to be casting white for some additional damage. Very RNG heavy. I imagine that maybe Rosa's next turn she'll queue up Cure 4 instead, just so you don't maybe hit a second life on Asura and wipe. But I can see it.
Just yellow the Asuras. Come on, what can go wrong? 2/3 of the time, it works every time.
I've gone into the Zeroma's fight with 2 Rydias with Asura and hit on life 7 times in a row. There's plenty that can go wrong.
Well, that beats my record. I've only hit 4 times in a row, so. But there's a Cure 3 face. We're fine.
Yeah, and good thing about this, it actually heals through the Starveil. So your Sid is now also safe without needing to expend like a curative item. Also, Tybalt has gotten through the DMs, has his crystal in hand, has less levels than Couch. We'll see if he's comfortable going in with that white spear that he has to just go ahead and go down, or if he's going to stop off and maybe do a brief grind. No, that's a walk towards Zeromus.
I mean, we know if he checks the Ogre spot, that's a free XP with the King Queen Evelyn, but yeah, no, I think this is going to be a walk straight down to Z.
Yeah. So right now, with Couch in his Z fight, kind of his race to lose, but if he takes a wipe, things start to even up a bit. Tybalt could easily make up the ground.
All it takes is one bad gray face for this side to go sideways.
Yeah.
the meantime, my predictions come true in the fact that we've got both runners get into the Z fight at the same time.
Absolutely. You were 100% correct there.
Oof, that was a big bang there from Sorogas on Couch's side.
Yeah, I think that was the phase 2 big bang. No. That's a GG.
Yeah, that's a crumble. That's a done. Couch is our winner, moving to 3-1. Official race spot time in 1 hour, 32 minutes, 37 seconds. GG's to Couch. See if we can get him in here for an interview.
Huge GG's to Couch. One way a win from making it into the bracket stage of the Lali-Ho League. Tybalt, unfortunately, will be dropping to 2-2, but he's not out of this. You just need to avoid losing 3 races, and you'll make your way to the bracket stage. But we are joined by Couch23. GG's, friend.
Hey, thanks.
Before we get into anything else, I don't know if you've been watching since you finished or if you pay attention to the spoiler log, but the Leviathan spot was Officer Soldier.
Yeah.
You had a coffin.
Yeah, I was talking about it with Tybalt, and yeah.
Yeah, as soon as Tybalt pulled that hook, we were like, oh no, this is just not going to go well. Because you had spent time on the Leviathan fight, you went and peeked the sealed cave. Tybalt was had an advantage for quite a bit until he started retracing some of your steps, and then you managed to find both the Dark Imps and both pieces there on the moon. Yeah, very entertaining race. A lot of back and forth here. Very well played by both of you. How are you feeling?
My heart's pounding, and I can't believe I won, to be honest with you. It was a fun seed. It was pretty fun.
You took some of the gambles that paid off for you very well, and some that just kind of gave you some whammies. That Baron Basement of Leviathan after doing Baron Castle, that was a big one, giving you the pan. Unfortunately, again, didn't pay out, but it was very well done and very well routed all around. That was just one of the big examples I could think of.
I was so excited to see that pan, and then it turning out to be just the pass.
Yeah, and the pass was from Sheila 1 even, so
yeah,
it wasn't even like the pan got you anything. But bold play. If that turns into something big early, you've got a huge advantage. So I can definitely see that. And then you follow that up with a very early check of the sealed K vitamin boss. What was that about? Were you looking to see just information dive, or trying to steal something cheeky?
Pretty much. I don't know. I kind of like doing the sealed cave on these flags, anyways. Just getting that knowledge, especially with knowing that I still need items and I still can find a boss possibly. Having that knowledge is really good to have.
Yeah, I'm definitely on team check sealed cave, so I'm glad that there's at least one other person on that team.
So my question is this: that ordeal, that all gauntlet into the wyvern at the end, how'd that feel?
I mean, it wasn't too bad, to be honest. That Stardust Rod came in super clutch for the gauntlet. Just getting those rum buffers on and having maybe 2 spells cast total from the enemies was great. Seeing wyverns, not too bad at that spot. Just quick rum buffer, usually pretty good.
Yeah. I want to lead this off by saying I'm sorry. When you go back and watch this race, when you pull that Stardust Rod, you will hear me say, oh, this Stardust Rod is great if you run across something like an alt gauntlet, literally as the alt gauntlet is spawning on your screen. And then afterwards, after you've taken out the D-Lunars, Gambit says something along the lines of, what could be here in the mirror room? Golbez? I'm like, no, I'm not making predictions, because I was going to say something like wyvern.
Great, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, she'll hear a bunch of silence after that one for a good 2-3 minutes, I think. As we tried to compose ourselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of laughter. We were very much trying to keep our composure, but it was interesting. Hey, I got those 2 out of the way early. You didn't have to worry about them on the moon.
Yeah, definitely. See, that's a great thing. Did have to deal with that stupid mom bomb though.
Yeah, very punchy at that spot. Oh no, this was a great race through and through. We just now seeing Tybalt finish up here. gets his crack boom, a little bit of a flash, his DK almost crumbles into nothingness. Official race spot time, 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 3 seconds. GG's to Tybalt. To anyone that ends up in the 2-2 pool next week, be afraid.
Yes,
Yeah, Tybalt's a great racer.
I am afraid because I may end up in the 2-2 pool. We'll see how my race goes tomorrow.
Well, Couch, well played. GG's again on your win. Any last thoughts or anything about the seed you want to, or tournament as a whole you want to say?
No, I just want to say thanks to the Restream crew for doing this super late night stuff. Y'all are fantastic. Commentary, Restreamer, tracker, and just free enterprise in general. Y'all are fantastic. Keep being awesome. That's really all I got.
Well, thank you so much. It's always a delight to see you race, and best of luck next week when you are going up to try and make it into brackets.
Thank you.
GG's again, Couch.
And with that, with Tybalt being done as well, we'll see if we can get Tybalt in here for an interview. While we're waiting on that, I do want to remind everyone, if you enjoyed this race here tonight and you want to see more of these runners, please give our runners a follow. Great content. Tybalt and Couch, both great streamers that do stuff besides Free Enterprise occasionally. And then also thanks to Scala and Infinius behind the scenes, as well as Gambit across the booth from me. I heard the badink like 25 words ago, but I'm going to keep talking until I say, hi, Tybalt. GG's.
GG's.
Tybalt.
GG.
So, that was a seed.
Yeah, it was.
You're gonna enjoy the watch back on this one. We thought you had this in the bag when you found that hook at the Leviathan.
That fight took so long, though.
Yeah. So I don't know if Couch mentioned it in the race room, but he didn't even check to see which one it was, and he had a coffin in his inventory when he went down there and just completely turned around and left.
A coffin would have been really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But you made it through. You had a huge early advantage. Really kind of the tipping point was you seem to be following what I like to do, which is if I've committed that much time to the Earth, I'm going to stay on Earth because I'm one thing away from go mode. Was that what your plan was, why you just decided not go moon?
Yeah, that was my plan, is just not go moon. I've got so many checks here on the Earth, and I'd already checked Dwarf Castle, and I saw Golbez, and I'm like, nope. So much nope. Went down, I checked, I got Earthcrest, like, well, this is 2 bosses, plus I get to see if Dimps are behind Golbez. Okay, I'll do Earth. And unfortunately it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because we already knew what was behind the Golbez. Not thinking about, oh yeah, you get boss knowledge at the top of Zot if you haven't seen Dwarf 2, so I definitely understand the math on that play.
Yep, and then just check in value caves. It's a quick boss check, and then straight down to LST to do the quick. There's 3 boss checks down there with the White Spear, Ribbon Room, and Ogopogo spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was the Ogopogo spot with King Queen Edlin gave the Adamant, and then at the Taildim spot, I forget who the boss was, but that was where our Legend Sword was.
Of course, Free Moon. Of course, the King Queen Edlin's going to be on the moon.
Yeah, but well-run race, very entertaining. You are 2-2. You're not out of this thing by any stretch of the imagination. How are you feeling? You just got to win out. The pool is scary, but you're also very scary at 2-2. So, how you feeling?
Scary. I'm feeling all right. I mean, I don't feel so bad losing by about 5 minutes against Couch. I know Couch is an amazing runner, so 5 minutes behind Couch, I'm okay with that. But I'm fearful of the 2-2 because I know how bad the 1 and 2 is right now going through this week. So we'll see what it turns out to be.
Yeah, the tournament is stacked top to bottom. It's almost like we have just a really great community full of a lot of talented racers, and you just look at any other one and go, I don't want to play you, and they're looking at you going, I don't want to play you.
Pretty much.
Gambit, any other questions?
No, just GG's. It was a very well run race, very good rally. Just didn't quite work out in your favor today.
No, and I kind of wanted that early heroine row, but I didn't have the money for it. That was kind of sad.
Yeah. We saw that and we're like, so close.
So close. Dragon Whip, heroine row, Rydia's gonna dominate the beginning of the seed. Oh wait, all Gauntlet. Hey, I got a Stardust Rod. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Watch the feedback. There's a fun fact about that Gauntlet and Stardust Rod. I won't spoil it. I spoiled it for Couch, but I won't spoil it for you. But thank you all so much for coming out to this. Any final thoughts, Tybalt?
No. Thanks for putting on this late night restream with the comms. Thank you, Zoe and Gambit, for the commentary. I bet you probably cursed us here and there with putting certain bosses at certain locations.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scalacadia, for the restream, and Infinius with the tracking.
All right. We are done here tonight, but we will be back later today for those of you that are on the not West Coast, and tomorrow for those of us that are on the West Coast. Our first restream tomorrow. I am losing track of my assignments. Panic!
I've got them pulled up, so I can
you take it. You take it.
We've got quite a few races tomorrow, starting at 6 o'clock Eastern. iClopper versus Mountaineer Gamer will not be restreamed. 7 o'clock, we have 3 matches. We're going to have Jeebus and PK4787 right here on the Free Enterprise channel. There's also Aizen Tayama and Imperial Dragon, and Locke versus Wubero, both all 3 at 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock, we have Bad Karma and NG Dave going to be on Random Mania. There's also McBain and Peasants, and then Sardin and our very own Zoe Vermillion. 9 o'clock, we've got a Stone Dingley taking on Infinius, Araya versus Antidale. Also on a Random Mania channel, we'll have Castro versus Sky the Marshal, and then Oskredman versus Silverfire. And then rounding out the races tomorrow, we'll have Lord Bobry and Cheap Launcher at 10 p.m. Eastern. So a lot of races going on. Get your Khadgars ready. Going to have a lot of fun tomorrow.
And for the rest of the evening, we are going to be sending out over to Flurry. If you don't know Flurry, what's wrong? He's a great person, great player. He is playing one of the asyncs, IE4MS. If you are eyeing that async, wanting to play it, please do not join this raid. You do not want to get spoiled. But that is what he's up to. We're going to go say hi to him. Do not spoil this race. If he's doing this, he probably wasn't watching it, and him and some other people may want to watch this back on the VOD. So no spoils, or you get the bonk. Good night, everyone.